Guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a blue gear guide. I'm going to teach you the best routes to get blue gear quickly and efficiently. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and let's get into the guide. So if you make your way over to the gear printer where all the gear is located, here's our first blue gear set. Here's the large backpack. For the large backpack, you need 6100 K marks, 2 textiles, 1 pale ivy blossom, and 3 altered nickel. Next, for the helmet, you're going to need 7600 K marks, 2 aluminum scrap, and 2 rattler skin. And for the shield right here, you're going to need 15,000 K marks, 2 zero system CPU, 2 cloudy veloctisite, and 5 rattler skin. Just to go over it one quick time, I can craft each and every item due to the fact that I'm going over this route with you guys, the route that I use every single day. Let's just get right into it. So for the first example, we are starting at the bottom of swamp, and our evac point that we're going to is in the middle of abandoned mine and dig site. So we have to cross all of this in order to get there, and we're going to hit a couple different spots on the way. So if you do get a landing like this with a similar evac point, again, your evac could even be at base camp and you can make your way up and down. Let's talk about this. So if we start down here by swamp camp, we're going to go walk over, hit a swamp camp building, then we're going to make our way up right here to this rock pools area. I'll show you the reason why we're stopping in all these areas in a second. Then we're going to make our way to comms tower, hit this building, go over here to crashed ship, hit this building, go over to dig site, hit a certain building here, and then we have our evac point right here. So we have a couple different spots we're going to hit. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots we're going to hit in order to get all of the loot required to make this item. Again, a good bit of this is RNG because you can't do much because someone either looted it before you, or you die, or you kill someone, then you got to evac. There's a lot of different factors that go into this. So the first building we're hitting is the swamp building. This is right underneath the big skeleton, exactly on the location that I showed you on the map previously. We're going to make our way inside, and this is where we have a chance of finding some textiles. Textiles are really, really important. As you see, we're right under the skeleton, right in the middle. On these shelves, we have 2 textiles right at our disposal. Again, you have chances to find a lot of other things. It's very random. I've found some CPUs here before. I found some aluminum. You don't know what to find in these areas, but take as much of everything as you can. So here we grab our textiles, and we're going to make our way out of here and go to the next area that was by rock pool. So as you make your way out of swamp camp, in this little divot right here where I'm circling with my mouse is where we're going to go next. This is for cloudy veloctisite. You can find veloctisite near waterfalls, and this waterfall in particular has a little crevice behind it where there's usually 3 or 4 nodes of veloctisite and a couple nodes around it. As you see, we already found 1 node down there, and we already have here 1 node right here. And we do find ourselves some cloudy veloctisite. Again, it is RNG whether you find 3 cloudy veloctisite, 1 veloctisite, 1 flawed veloctisite. But if you mine all the nodes here, you have a really good chance of leaving with 2 to 6 cloudy veloctisite just in this one area. Now for the next area, we made our way to comms tower. There are 2 different large buildings in comms tower that you could loot, but I'm going to one specific building. This building on the right that we're looking at right now is not the building we want to go to. There's a building on the left hand side that we really need to go to because this has the server room. The server room is stacked if it's been unlooted, and it is the place to go for loot. You also have to be quite careful here because there's usually kids camping, just like I'm going to show you real quick. This could have been the end of the run. I could have lost it all, but luckily I clutched up. I made my way up the staircase and I peeked over, didn't see anyone. I start walking a little further, get into it a little bit more, and look at this. Kid camping right there, shoots me in the face. I panic. I gotta run down. I gotta pull off a crazy play to pull this off. I see him chasing me. Double pump, and he's dead. That's why if you're a solo player, I'm going to make a best solo loadout video soon. So right here on screen, this key that I'm showing you, the server access key, is the key you're going to have to get into this room. This is in the comms tower on the 2nd floor. Once you get in this room, there's a ton of lockers, a ton of different stuff to see. As you see, there's resin guns, textiles, some batteries. There's even guns included if you need a gun. I don't need them personally. Hardened metals. There's a ton of different stuff. Don't forget to check the whole room because as you see on the bottom left where we're going to go really quickly, there's going to be 4 different kind of suitcases, briefcases type of thing. And I'm going to find a zero system CPU in here. As you see, I didn't expect to find this here, but I did. Again, there's a lot of different stuff you can find in a lot of these different locations. There's a lot of good loot to be found, and you just have to look for it really well. So now we're going to make our way into jungle, and this is where we're going to have to be on the lookout because we're going to look for some pale ivy blossoms. Pale ivy blossoms are found in overgrown areas. As you see right here, as we're walking up to certain trees, we just gotta check them, make sure there's nothing on them. Once you find a pale ivy blossom, you're gonna see it really well. As we make our way to this tree, you see this little blue looking thing right here. We're gonna make our way up to it so you can see it a little better. And once you look over it, it does highlight in yellow, and this is what a pale ivy blossom is. Hangs on these types of vines on trees. So as you can see right here, I haven't seen if there's a certain pattern, if there's certain trees that line up with where they spawn, but I usually check as many trees as possible and try to get as much pale ivy blossom as possible. Again, it is super light. It's only 1 pound, so you can stick a lot in your safe pockets. So these are really no need to worry about because they're decently easy to find, and once you get them, you can keep them pretty protected in your safe pockets. Now, once we make our way through the jungle, we're gonna go over to the crash ship because this crash ship, if it's been unlooted, it can have really good loot. I found zero system CPUs here. I found aluminum. I found textiles. I found poly. There's a lot of different stuff to find here, and it's very, very important that you check all of the crevices. There was a kid on my tail here, so I tried to move quickly, and I saw that the ship was already looted, so I made my way out. But if you get luckier and you have the ship unlooted, it is super, super good for a ton of different stuff. Right here is a really, really good spot. You can find poly here. Zero system CPUs are all over the ground usually, and they're pretty hard to see, so I would look everywhere in every crevice you can find. Once we make our way out of here, now the next spot we go to is dig site. Dig site also has a chance of spawning these pale ivy blossoms as there's a lot of overgrown areas, and in these industrial crates that you see right here, this is where aluminum scrap usually spawns. We're going to go to some other areas where this could spawn, but these crates right here are what you want to look for when you're looking for that aluminum scrap. So at the end of dig site, there's going to be this one mine area over here. It usually has a Jeff in there and a couple different mobs, so you have to be careful. But as you see, once you get in there, in the back corner, there is an industrial crate, and there's more on the left side up there already looted. These again have more chances of finding aluminum scrap in them. I didn't get lucky enough to find them. I found a Kotek multi-tool. Pretty cool. You need those for some builds. Again, you have to be careful. There's Jeffs. There's a ton of different dangerous stuff, so move carefully and move quickly. So now this was where my evac was, so I just threw some smokes and got out of there. Made sure to keep all the loot that I just got. As you see on this run, it was a little bit of an unlucky run, but we came away with 3 textiles, 2 cloudy Velecticite, 1 zero system CPU, and 1 pale ivy blossom. Again, this was a pretty trash run. We got pretty unlucky in some certain aspects. We're going to go over one more route that will help you in your search for these items. So for the second route we're going to do, this is just a different spawn set and a different location, because on the first run, we went on this left side of the map, and now we're going to explore this right side of the map. Since we spawned in this area, we're going to make our way to Lagoon. Lagoon is the first area we're going to hit. You could hit Science Campus because there are industrial crates there, but I didn't go there. You could find some aluminum scrap in there, find some of those industrial crates, but we're not going to hit Science Campus in this route. So the first thing we're obviously going to do is hit Lagoon, and then we're going to make our way up a little further to a certain waterfall. There's some more Velecticite you can collect there. Then you're going to make your way right up here to Vaccine Labs and loot that whole thing, because you can find poly in there, you can find zero system CPUs, you can find a ton of different stuff that's really, really beneficial for you. Then we're going to make our way to East Collection Point and evac right there. You could take a route, a little detour to East Caverns and mine some more Velecticite there, because there's a good amount of waterfalls right here on the right. So in total for this run, we're going to hit 1, 2, 3, and 4 main spots. So Lagoon is easily the most underrated spot in the game. There are a lot of rattlers to kill for their skin. There's a lot of money in here. As you see, a lot of mobs, a lot of stuff to kill. But for Lagoon, I would focus on this second building. First, we went on the building on the right, and now we're going to the building straight ahead. This room on the right is a miracle. This room is stacked usually. In my previous video, I found 5 resin guns. I've found 4 to 5 textiles because there's spawns everywhere. As you see, there's cartridges and batteries. There's going to be a textile on our left. So there's 5 different spawns in this room where you can find stuff. As you see, we have a textile right here. This room is so key. It's usually loaded if it hasn't been looted. Lagoon is such an underrated spot that you have to go to. Now, if we make our way out of that room and head on upstairs, again, you could hit some jacket stuff. I love collecting jewelry and money. I love having that money. I just hit 400k K marks, so that's pretty cool. And now, once we get out of Lagoon, again, if you just keep going straight as I showed you on the map before, there are a ton of waterfalls full of Velecticite. As you see in this shot, we already see 2 nodes right here. There could potentially be ones under the waterfall. There's one right here to the right. There's a ton of different Velecticite right by Lagoon, and it's fairly safe because there's not too many spawns near this area. You just always have to be careful because when you're mining, you make a crap ton of noise. So as you see, we collect some cloudy Velecticite, and we're just going to keep on moving. I do collect more, but we want to keep going on this route. So now we've already hit Lagoon. We've already hit the waterfall right here. Now we're going to hit Vaccine Lab. slabs, and if it's been unlooted, we're in for a lot of loot. So as we go in, the first locker we hit, we already find textiles. So as we go in, the first locker we hit, we find textiles on our first hit, which is really awesome because we need a lot of them. Now we're just going to check each and every building. There's a good chance you're going to find poly here, as again, I just found some poly right here. Now we're just going to loot every building because again, you have to find poly, you have to find zero system CPUs. I was low on meds, so I collected them. But as you see right here, there's poly on the shelves. There's a lot of stuff everywhere. And just so you know, I'm not lying, you can find zero system CPUs here. As you see, there's one literally just laying on the ground on its back. So I'm like, okay, I'll finesse you, I'll take you up. So I took them, I snagged them, I looted the rest of vaccine, and then we moved on. One thing you're gonna want to do before you move on is there's a building here with a key. All right, you have to get this key in order to unlock the room. The key that we're looking for specifically is called the Bright Sands Observation Room key. This gives you access to this room, and this room is pretty nice because I always need that old medicine in order to craft those stims, and you have a chance of finding a ton of different stuff in here, and I'll show you exactly. So as you see, we got a blue stim right there, we have a medical box right there, we get some attachments, and in this room it's usually just medical supplies to make those meds, craft those meds. It's pretty good, pretty useful. But after you loot vaccine, you can make your way over to East Collection Point. At East Collection Point, they have an underground area where you can loot and find industrial crates. I didn't hit it because my shield was so low. I was afraid if I got hit by one thing, it would be wraps for me, and I didn't want to lose all this loot. But you can hit the underground area for some crates. You could do the puzzle here for some even more crates, but I don't like doing the puzzles. As you see, there's crates in a good amount of spots. Sadly, it's already been looted. So now we just chose to evac and make our way out of here safely, just so we could get out with the loot because we had a good amount on us. So as you see, this is what we collected in this second run. We got 2 Rattler skin, 3 textiles, 3 poly, 3 cloudy Velecticite, 1 zero system CPU. We got a lot of good things. We didn't find any aluminum scrap, but again, that's just RNG. You gotta pray to God you find it. That's probably the hardest thing you're gonna need to find in this. That's probably the hardest thing you're going to find in order to get full blue gear. I've been lucky enough to stack mine up, so I have 20 something. So just keep doing the routes. You'll find it eventually. And you'll find it, trust me. Well, that's all I got. That's going to be it for the guide. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Thank you for checking out the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Keep loving the videos. Keep watching them. Keep liking them. Keep subbing. I appreciate all the love. And I'll see you in the next one. Deuce.